Welcome to the Wed Pro Podcast, the show for wedding professionals and business owners.
Each month, we bring you top industry experts, business chat, and hints and tips to grow your business.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Roxy.
Welcome to the Wed Pro Podcast. Hello, welcome back. It's a bit of a funny one today because we've got no guest, have we? It's just two of us, but we wanted to talk to you all about what's kind of happening in the current climate in a minute. So those of you that are listening at a later date, today we are recording, I don't even know the date, Roxy. What's the date?
The date is Friday the 10th of April, and I think we are in, week 2 of...
3, isn't it? 3
of the kind of COVID-19 pandemic
lockdown.
We are currently in lockdown. All weddings have had to be postponed. So kind of in our industry, there's a lot of feeling of uncertainty. So today we're going to talk about something that's going to hopefully give you a lot of feeling of positivity and make you feel a little bit more optimistic about things.
Yeah, we wanted to kind of offer you some kind of support in way, and then kind of explore some additional kind of revenue streams in order to kind of help your business. And it is at times like this, as to what we're going through at the minute, although if you are listening in the future, hopefully we're going to give you some ideas anyway that can just help kind of layer that business. And in times like now, you do kind of pick up on the weak parts of your business, don't you, really? Or the parts of...
highlights those kind of little holes and makes you kind of go, oh, okay.
Yeah, perhaps you're kind of relying totally on one form of revenue, which I imagine that most people are. For example, bookings for weddings, and nobody saw this coming a mile after there. When has this ever happened? But when things like this happen, it kind of highlights, okay, where is the money coming from? Where is our next payment or booking? Or
it's as though, and I think this is kind of, we're all feeling it, it's as though the rug has been pulled completely from under your feet. There's a lot of feeling of kind of uncertainty going on at the moment, because currently, like I said, we are like Friday the 10th of April. There is no news on when the lockdown is going to be lifted or when weddings and things can all, I don't think, is it September time?
We don't know, do we? And this is the point. And even we're recording this remotely, aren't we? Which is the first time.
Which is strange, because normally we are literally sat next to each other.
Yeah, so we've had to adapt little bits in our business. Obviously, this is just a small little thing, but we've had to adapt. All of our events are cancelled, haven't they? Which is a massive part of our revenue stream as well. And like we said, in order to kind of have a sustainable lifestyle or a sustainable income, we wanted to
diversify your business.
Yeah, and not looking at just one form of revenue streams, so that whatever the circumstances, you've got 2, 3, or maybe 4 other places where you've still got money kind of coming in. And these ideas will work in the future, won't they? So it's not just, we do work in a very seasonal industry, don't we? As in,
yes,
we don't always have money coming in, month out, and most businesses will budget for the quiet months, but perhaps in those quiet months, having some other forms of revenue and some other forms of income will just kind of help tide those businesses over in those kind of quiet periods anyway.
That's it. I think, okay, so firstly I want to say, if any of you are listening and we are in the current kind of pandemic, if you're struggling or you need any help, you can definitely reach out to us, get in touch with us on our social medias, through our communities. We are here to help.
We're about, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Obviously we've got the children at home, and we're not as active and popping up as often, but we are definitely here, and a few people have been emailing us, which has been nice to hear from a few people, hasn't it? And especially you got any questions about anything whatsoever, showing up on social media, should you be showing up, should you not be showing up, where can you go to go and get advice, that sort of thing. There's loads of things inside of our Facebook group. And then I know, don't feel that you can't reach out, you can just ping us a message, can't you, and we'll get back to you.
Put all of that information in the show notes as well, so it's easily accessible to you. So the second thing I want to say is, if you are listening to this at a later date, all my life. We obviously made it through.
Yeah, congratulations! Can't wait. What's the first thing you're going to do, Roxy? Where's the first place you're going to go?
I told the kids I'm going to be like straight to McDonald's, just because we're finding it hard, but I know my kids are like finding things hard as well, so it would be nice for a big reward. I said to the kids we're going to go and have a McDonald's feast, and then I don't know, probably going to see my mum because she's found this really difficult actually. So what about you?
Yeah, I know. Well, to be fair, like, you've shamed me there a little bit, because I was like, Nando's. all I keep on thinking about is Nando's. But yeah, it'll be nice to go and see the folks. But because I live quite a distance away from all of my family anyway, it's not uncommon for me to go months without seeing my mum. So been chatting on the phone quite a lot. My mum works for the NHS, so she actually, I might put it in the group. They did like a little video. I don't know if you saw it.
Last night actually. Oh, it's lovely.
I've got a funny story. I'll tell you it. I might put it in the group. So yeah, if you are struggling, please reach out and let us know as well. Let us know what is the first thing you're going to do when this lockdown kind of ends. What have you really, really been missing? I think it has been eating out for me. Shamefully.
And even just like, I have avoided the shops, literally, no pun intended, like the plague, because I just can't deal with the thought of all. I don't know. So today
I would definitely recommend avoiding the shops, because people cannot understand one way around the shop, and it's frustrating the life out of me. And they're like 2 meters apart from the person in front of you, and then some geezer just comes and puts the trolley right next to me. No, mate, no.
I think a lot of mine, and probably maybe some others can relate to this as well, it's all in my mind. It's the thought of it, then you build on the anxiety, and then it's like, right, I'm not going now, I'll just not eat, like, it's okay.
I know that we've been kind of getting this, but I don't know how many more people are feeling a lot more lethargic. And I have been busy over the last couple of days, but I've been trying to get out and do my like one walk a day that we're allowed to do and stuff like that. And actually, I've done quite well, because I have been known to have a little day nap, but I've done quite well. I've not been. I've been trying to avoid.
We call it a nanny nap.
A nanny. But yeah, you know, feelings of motivation are quite tough at the minute, aren't they? And it kind of feels like a never-ending task. So we're going to kind of hopefully give you a little bit of motivation. Potentially give ourselves a little bit of motivation as well, because this is work for us, isn't it, Roxy? So kind of get ourselves back into like work mode and work game, and give you guys as many ideas as we can kind of bounce around between the two of us, as to how to kind of help your business through this kind of epidemic or pandemic that we're kind of going through at the minute.
There's a word that I keep hearing a lot, and it's like, unprecedented at this
uncertain times, and kind of pull you out the other end. Any of these, so if you're listening in the future, if you're listening, that makes me laugh. If you're listening in the future, any of these ideas, hopefully that we're going to give you'll be able to implement into your business at a point. It's just not for obviously situations like this. So first and foremost, you might be thinking, right, lovely, girls, we're going to be talking about lots of ideas today, but what can I do now? I'm really struggling now. You know, especially those businesses in the UK, and I think this is right for businesses abroad as well. Those of us that are self-employed and even employed through our own companies and limited companies, the money's not coming for a few months, is it? So we've got to wait for a little while before we kind of access any of the kind of help. So what are the things that you can be doing now inside of your business? And I'm sure you'll have heard kind of ideas floating around. So apologies if we're covering kind of old ground, but we just wanted to help, just in case you didn't know where you could turn to. We just wanted to get those kind of ideas out there. And if anybody has got any other ideas, or you've spoken to a charity that's been absolutely amazing and has pointed you in the right direction, please just let us know, and we will get that help out to as many people as possible.
Okay then, so first, a little tiny disclaimer: we are not in any way like financial advisors or anything like that. These are just ideas that we bounced around between us, and we wanted to share them with you. So that's it, just want to get it in there.
Good one. So it's worth going and speaking to if you've got any debts inside of your business, such as, I don't know, business loans or credit card debt or any kind of bigger debts, and this will work for your personal life as well, although the majority of today is going to be focused on your business. Call them up, ask them if you can renegotiate your interest payment. Potentially you'd be able to pause your payments for a little while.
This is what I did personally, because I've got a personal loan. Give them a call, on hold for a little bit because they're quite busy at the moment, but it was really, really mega helpful. I was quite nervous about ringing actually, but they've done me a repayment holiday for 3 months, which is, you know, just it's really, really helped ease that financial pressure.
Yeah, and you can also just ask them to pause the interest, can't you? So even if you can't, potentially some people might be listening and know that you've had a repayment holiday previously in the past, or potentially you're not fantastic at meeting your repayments. Call them up, be honest, there's no shame in it. There's also charities out there such as Step Change Debt Charity, and there's a couple of other ones that are humongously helpful. There's no shame whatsoever in just ringing these people up and just saying, look guys, you know, I'm self-employed, I run my own business. You're not going to be the only person.
No, definitely not. Yeah, don't ever feel like kind of you're alone in this, because lots and lots of businesses, not just in our industry, kind of across the whole board, are really, you know, it's impacted everybody at the minute.
So just go and check, make a list of kind of all of the people that you have money owed to, and give them a call. You know, like Roxy said, cut out a big chunk of your time because you might be on hold for a little while, but just go and see what help you can kind of get out there as well.
That's it.
Have a little look at council grants as well. We've kind of explored that, haven't we? It's not been that difficult to kind of access that.
No.
Some councils are offering, is it up to £500?
Up to £500 cash grant. Your business has to have been directly impacted by kind of what's going on at the moment, but that's not hard. You know, being in the wedding industry, it's just a short form. I would imagine, so we are Derbyshire County Council, so we just went on their website, there was like a section, a short form to fill out, and then somebody gets in touch by email. It's been
and you don't need to have business premises for that, to access that help. There are a couple of other grants and loans available to people who do have business premises, but that specific county council grant, up to £500, all you need to do is show that your business has been impacted by providing bank statements.
Yeah. There's also one that you kind of shared the other day, you know, the Prince's Trust one. That's open to small business owners between the ages of, is it 18 and 30?
Yeah, 18 to 30. So if you fit in that kind of bracket, have a look at the Prince's Trust. They're offering some small grants, aren't they?
Yeah, and your business have to have been in one of their programs either, which is quite nice as well.
No, that's really fantastic. And you just have to have been trading for up to 4 years, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
So if you're aged 18 to 30, been trading for under 4 years, check out those Prince's Trust grants as well. And grants, you don't have to repay. So I know a lot of people have been worried about taking out business loans and how to afford those repayments in the future. Any kind of grant, you will not have to repay that money back. There are business loans, business interruption loans available as well. Go and speak to your bank. Like we said, we're not financial advisors. We just want to let you guys know what kind of access is out there as well. So that's kind of like all of that. Something we've seen floating around quite a lot is encouraging your couples whose weddings have been directly impacted, perhaps in the previous 3 weeks, or they're due to get married kind of April time, May time, maybe June time, is encouraging them to postpone their wedding rather than fully cancel their wedding. Please get some legal advice as to where how this impacts on your current contract. We don't know the terms and conditions of all of your contracts, so please take a look over your contract. I think this has highlighted something that potentially some businesses have been missing as well, this kind of situation, as well as how tight your terms and conditions are inside of your contract, hasn't it? And we know, especially at the beginning of this kind of, are we going to enter lockdown or not enter lockdown period, as to how tight those terms and conditions were, and there was kind of a scramble of people to kind of update that, wasn't there? All we can kind of do is try to help your couples understand the benefits in postponing their wedding.
100%, rather than kind of cancelling. And I think it's important to have very open conversations with your couples, kind of keep them in the loop with that. Just reach out to them, and have a chat with them and try and, it's definitely going to benefit them financially to postpone rather than cancelling, because, you know, deposits would have been paid, and rather than, you know, cancelling completely, really, really, you know, preach that postponement rather than cancelling.
Yeah, and try and make it look like it's in their best interests as well, in terms of, like you've just said there, obviously this will differ as to each and every single one of your contracts who are listening. However, you know, highlight the terms in your contract as terms of your cancellation policy, and highlight the terms in your contracts as the postponement policy, and hopefully that shows a clear difference as to postponing the wedding is going to be more financially beneficial to your couple than out and out cancelling as well. And this should, you know, help your business, as in that you're still going to have money and weddings coming in the future, if not now, kind of in the future. And like you said, just communicating to your clients and saying, you know, it's not great that you might be having to collect money outstanding, and this is something that we've seen kind of people chat to as well, that, you know, for weddings that are happening in the next 3 months, as far as we know, they could be going ahead, and people are, you know, or second parts of people's payments are due on potentially stationery or some other service as well, and just trying to still get that money in and just having open and honest conversations with people, you know, I have locked that particular wedding date out for you. I've already spent Y and Z on products for you, or done this and such and such and such. And I have a family to support, and I run a small business, and it is difficult for us in this current market. As per my terms and conditions, you know, your second part of your payment is due. And there's absolutely no shame in just being honest. You don't need to stick to this professional hard line. And I think you are more likely to get a much more human and empathetic response if you are much more open and honest than if you are sticking to a very
looking on, like, feel of very, very professional,
and unemotional
client, rather than being a human being.
Yeah, like one response fits all, which is not going to be the case at all in kind of times like this. So
and across the board that I've seen, the majority, obviously, there's always going to be those odd couples that can be difficult. But I've seen, you know, couples still paying deposits for things, and, you know, actually realising and understanding that you are only small businesses. And I dare say it's those kind of businesses that have reached out to their kind of bookings and couples that have had that kind of nice response. It's just about that openness and being transparent with them.
Yeah. So kind of the other thing that we've kind of been kind of exploring in the group, and currently, like we said, we're recording this in April of 2020, although I'm sure this year is going to be ingrained in everyone's minds for a long time coming, as to how do people go about promoting their businesses still, and do they feel that they're being you know, unsympathetic, or they're not quite sure how to promote their business in the current climate, are they? But what we would kind of say is, if you're not putting yourself out there as a business, how are people going to know that you exist? So, you know, that's still true. You still need to market your business in a time of crisis, don't you? As to, it's important across the board to still be,
you still need to be showing up, and you still need to be being present, because you yes, you will have those couples that have got weddings that are in the middle of this kind of what's going on at the moment, but also you will still have brides that will be getting married in the future. So, you know,
who are still looking to book their wedding, and these people are in lockdown with their partners, spending lots of time together.
Social media as well. This is what I've been doing. I don't know about anyone else, but gosh, I spent so much time on my phone, just like scrolling for nothing. Don't know why.
And these couples are still excited about their weddings, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, 2021 couples and 2022 couples are still excited about their weddings and still looking to, you know, they're not the ones being impacted at all. So we would kind of let you know that it's still okay to promote your business.
Yeah.
Ask yourself, is what you're, you know, is your post or is your piece of marketing tasteful? Is it tactful? Is it respectful? If it is, there is no harm, you know.
And if you are, here's a little kind of pull here. If you are, you know, struggling for things, you don't know what to post or whatever like that, we have an amazing catalogue of wedding industry specific content in our, can't even think what it's called, Intuition Social. It is a subscription service, and we will pop the details in the show notes below. We won't talk too much about it, but there's a whole load of weddings.
Yeah, and those kinds of stuff is probably the stuff that you do need to be showing up about. It's just important, if you take something from this, it's still important to be showing up for future couples. We know that, you know, people don't just all of a sudden decide to get married tomorrow. There is a planning process involved, isn't there? And there are still going to be people planning weddings for the future. So it can be quite easy to kind of forget about those kinds of people when we're so focused at the minute on the people who are getting married in the next sort of 6 weeks or the next sort of season. And it is important to just spend your time showing up for those future couples who are still excited about their wedding, who still have money to spend on their wedding, and are not being directly impacted by any of the kind of social distancing or lockdown at the minute. Another kind of idea is, we home in a lot about this, isn't it? But, we are in these kind of different times, and something to say is not everything has to be permanent. So we talk a lot about your ideal client and getting your social media out there, talking about, who your ideal avatar is, and getting your website copy and your social media copy, totally to talk to your ideal client. However,
we're going to tell you the opposite right now.
It's okay to take on additional clients that may not fit in your ideal client. Right. And this is okay to do temporarily. So if you think, for the next 12 months or for the next 6 months, just to get through this kind of period that my business is in at the minute, or just to kind of get some money kind of coming in the bank.
Yeah. Just expand that niche. It's okay. It's only going to be for a temporary amount of time, but it will just help you rather than, speaking to that small amount of people. It maybe open that up a little bit and see, cashing it a little bit further. And
nothing is irreversible, is it? So, you can think, perhaps you particularly like working with very a certain type of couple, but, just for the next 6 months or the next season or the next 12 months, just to get you through this time, you're just going to diversify a little bit. And you can just think, right, this is something that I'm just going to do for a short period to just pull my business through this.
And you never know, you might even realise at the end of this, oh, actually, I quite like that type of couple now.
Or there's more profit in that as well. Like perhaps you're a wedding planner that prefers doing, perhaps you don't want to do that on the day planning or, the weeks leading up to the wedding, and you prefer to do full planning services. So you prefer to meet with the couple right at the beginning stages of their planning and do the full plan, the full shebang all the way right up to the day of their wedding. But, perhaps just to get kind of through, you're going to offer on the day coordination and just expand your services to increase your revenue from perhaps just the next 12 months. You would rather stay in business, and this is it, don't turn away money. If you're struggling or if you need to cash in or get some pennies into the bank, don't turn away extra clients. Don't turn away that kind of money. If people are willing to pay and you don't mind too much diversifying your service that little bit, or working with those clients that not necessarily fit into your ideal client sector, then definitely 100% there's absolutely no shame in doing that, is there?
Of course not at all.
You would rather have a business, wouldn't you? Like, you would rather have a business
at the end of this than nothing at all. Because it's not easy kind of running a business, as we know. So you've got to cling on to every strand that you can right now.
And it is the businesses that do adapt and change. And this is true for whatever kind of market. And there has been economic downturns in the past, hasn't there? And there has been shifts in, the way that people purchase things, online shifts, for example. And it is the businesses that do adapt and change who have the staying power and who are still here in kind of 5 years. So there is no shame in changing how you do things and adapting with the times. That's absolutely fine at all.
You told me, and I think this was like way back when I was just a little tiny snippet of a person at the bridal shop when it just began. I remember you saying to me, like, more often than not, millionaires have like 6 different streams of income. Now, I'm not saying we all want to be millionaires. seven streams of income. You know, so yeah, we don't. I mean, I wouldn't mind being a millionaire, but what I'm trying to kind of get at is, if you've got more than one stream of income, if kind of the rug is pulled from under your feet, it's gonna affect you a little bit less if you've got things going on that are for sale online, rather than just physical kind of products, because I've literally lost train of thought, Kate.
But it's more sustainable, isn't it? The more kind of revenue streams you've got, or if you're more willing to work with different types of clients, or more open to kind of working those weddings that perhaps don't fit into your ideal client niche or ideal client bracket, your business is more sustainable, isn't it? As you kind of whatever the circumstance kind of comes up for you and your business. I'm going to talk a little bit now. It's probably an unpopular one. However, there doesn't need to be any shame surrounding it. Is it in terms of taking on maybe a part-time job?
Yeah, this is something I have actually considered, and you know, you just got to do whatever you've got to do to get by. And like Kate says, there is no shame here. You want some sort of a business at the end of this, so we've all just got to look at what we can do right now to kind of get by. And I know with the current situation, and in the future as well, there'll still be lots of jobs out there, but right now lots of kind of supermarkets are looking for kind of temporary staff. There's lots of
and this is what it is. It can just be temporarily. Like, we know currently in the UK, and I think this is right for definitely Australia, potentially America as well. We are now in April. I think we were told about kind of measures coming in potentially over a week and a half ago now. So probably the back end of March. We've been told that no help is coming until June. That is the first time that we're going to get any kind of help. And that is a long period, especially if you're a business that is literally relying on money month to month. Perhaps you're a new business, or maybe that's how you run your business, and you are relying on income coming in month to month. You know, having no income for the next 3 months is a kick in the gut. That is going to be difficult for anybody to kind of get through as to how you are going to pay your bills and feed your children, and, you know, put petrol in your car. So taking on a part-time job, there is absolutely no shame in that whatsoever. Just do whatever you need to do to kind of get by over these next couple of months. And like we said already 1,001 times, it can be changed. You know, nothing is irreversible. You can kind of let yourself, you know, you're going to buckle down, you're going to go and get a job for the next 3 months. And then you're going to assess the situation come July and see where you're at in July. And you can totally come back to your business. Nothing is permanent, is it? You're
going to be there
forever.
No.
So have a look as well. Go on.
A little kind of idea that just popped into my head. So think about, you know, when this is kind of, you know, when people are allowed to have weddings again and things like that, the venues are probably going to be kind of very, very busy, trying to book dates left, right and centre. It might be worth reaching out to them, see if you can offer your services. Say, you know, I'm not busy these weeks in this month, so, you know, if you need any additional support, maybe you could be like a second photographer or anything like that. It's worth just kind of reaching out. You know, you might know kind of people who have got venues to just say, hey, like, I'm here to help if you need it when all these weddings, because I'd imagine that it's going to be a lot of people that after this, a lot of brides that have already booked, they're going to be trying to snap those dates up pretty quick. So
just that's what we're kind of hoping, aren't we? The next year is going to be so busy, super busy. Do you have a skill as well that you could sell remotely to another business? So perhaps you are absolutely amazing at admin. Could you, you know, for the next few weeks or next couple of months, take on somebody's bookkeeping for them, or, you know, take on somebody's social media for somebody else as well? Don't work for free. Don't sell yourself short, you know. But do you have a skill that you are really good at that you could offer yourself remotely to other businesses, other business kind of owners as well? Yeah, so that's kind of
just a little idea. This probably won't work for every single kind of business in our industry, but I've seen it, you know, like my lady that does my brows and lashes, so she's running competitions, like raffle competitions, £5 per number, then you can win kind of a product or a service when this is all done. So that's another little way. You've got like 30 squares, £5 a square, and then you can draw it on a Facebook Live or an Instagram Live or on whatever social media. There's a little way to get like a little bit of income kind
and
of.
that's it, isn't it? You're giving hope.
Yep.
And showing up for those kind of future couples or those kind of future brides as well. Just another point that kind of jumped into my head as we kind of have been chatting this kind of through is, if you're able to raise your prices in your current wedding business, you know, if there is room there for you to raise your prices, and I think this is something that, you know, won't be for everybody, and a lot of people will feel nervous about raising their prices in this current climate, and will be wanting to think that any money is good money, and, you know, will be tempted to kind of sell their services short or take less profit from a job just to kind of get money in. However, there are still going to be people out there with money, aren't they? And people aren't going to be as impacted by the kind of financial pressures that other people are kind of feeling. Those people that, you know, have a little bit more income to spend, haven't lost their jobs in the current climate, and
have a little bit more time on their hands right now. But what does anyone do? Well, what do I do when I've got a little bit more time on my hands? Go in and buying this, buying that.
Yeah, and those people aren't necessarily directly impacted financially as to what's going on at the moment. So if you're able to raise your prices, obviously raise the value with what you do as well. Potentially that's a way to just make a little bit more profit, or just to get a couple of bookings in. Could you offer, here's just another little, while we're brainstorming this out on our podcast, could you offer an additional add-on, such as you'll chuck a photo booth in, or chuck in, you know, some save the dates or whatever it may be, for people who decide to pay in full? We used to do this when we had the bridal shop. We would offer incentives to people that would pay in full rather than pay, you know, across the period of time.
You used to literally be one of them. You used to like throw everything in, I remember.
Yeah, I was awful for this, wasn't I? But obviously don't do what I didn't do, like cost it out in terms of what you can afford in your business. Is there something relatively low cost to you that you could throw in that is going to be of high value to your couple, just to encourage them to kind of pay in full, or pay a substantial the bigger deposit, in terms to help you out across the next kind of couple of months?
So kind of when we're coming up with kind of ideas for new income streams in your business, you don't have to, and I wouldn't really recommend coming up with ideas that haven't been done before and things like that, because you know, if no one else is doing it, you're going to end up spending your time explaining kind of your new service or your new idea to your kind of target audience, rather than selling it and making sales from it. You know, you need to be doing kind of your marketing.
Yeah, I think what's important is to stay with what you know at the minute, isn't it? Stay within your area of expertise. Like, have confidence and conviction in what you know, and the value of the service that you provide, and just to kind of losing my words there. When you said you were getting a cup of tea before this episode, I thought, I've just had one, and now I wish I'd got one. Kind of brainstorm those ideas. Don't be too niche, because when you are so niche, yes, you're talking to a very like small proportion of people, which is normally absolutely fantastic, and you're really niching down on who your ideal client is. But for all of the reasons that we've kind of just mentioned today, we're trying to, you know, help our businesses survive over the next kind of few months. Like you said, you don't want to be spending your time explaining some kind of wacky concept and
this is all we've done before, like and all that kind of things. It's brilliant. It's really, really good to have ideas, but you need the proof behind it, you know, that the concept's going to work. And how much time do you want to be spending kind of researching this right now? We're going to be wanting things that are a little bit more instant. I mean, if you think you've got a good idea, do some like market research.
Yeah, I was going to say, none of that, you know, all of kind of SWOT analysis and business plans and all of that sort of stuff doesn't need to go out the window. You could knock together a really quick kind of business plan, and, you know, ask for people's ideas, go into Facebook groups, go and chat to your ideal client and just say, what do you think about this? This is the kind of thing. You don't need to lose all common sense just because there is in every area of your life, #stay at home. when situations like this are happening. We were kind of thinking of kind of some ideas, and we're going to brainstorm them over the next kind of section of this podcast, weren't we, as to kind of ways you might be able to diversify your income and be able to add an additional stream of income into your business. They won't be relevant to all of you. Every single one of them probably won't be relevant to every single one of you, but there might be a couple there that you think, yes, I can run with this, or potentially will just light that fire in you to kind of think up some ideas.
Just get that brain, you know, the juices flowing. I think sometimes it's nice just to kind of sit and hear some ideas from somebody else rather than thinking, oh, God, no, I like. Because I'm at the minute, like we said, struggling for motivation really bad. You know, and even just seeing you, Kate, it's just lifted me.
I'm missing the working day, that kind of structure for sure.
So now my kind of routine is get up. I've still been getting up at the same time, making sure the kids are still kind of got a little bit of a breakfast routine. But then rather than my focus shifting to getting to school, getting to work, it's now sort the kids. And sometimes sorting the kids can take like till lunch, and then I'm like, what? I haven't even done any work yet. So you get like an hour done in the afternoon, and then look, more sorting of the kids. I think you're out there, like, I take my hat off to you, honest to God.
I think people 100% can relate, can't they? And even today, I've had an email in terms of somebody that wants to collaborate, and I was like, yeah, that's not going to happen for a little while, just because the kids are at home, and I know we've hopped on a few Facebook Lives, haven't we? And I think actually we are not alone in this.
No, definitely.
And I've seen it happen on the news, and I've seen it, you know, on good days where in pops the toddler, and it all goes to pot.
It all goes wrong, yeah.
So everybody's kind of in the same kind of boat, aren't they? So
I actually got a sign on the door of the garden shed that I'm in right now that says, do not enter, do not knock, do not bang, mum is recording.
That's funny. Right, okay, let's talk digital products. And this is something that we obviously know quite a lot about. We've kind of moved our business digitally over 12 months ago now, didn't we? So we had a bridal business, obviously most of you guys will know, and then we wanted to move, we took this move into this kind of more business education sector, didn't we, over 12 months ago, and as part of that we do create digital products. So have a think, inside of your niche, inside of what you do, could you create some sort of digital product or course, or we'll talk about printables and products a little bit later on, but let's just focus on courses for a little period of time. Is there an expertise that you have inside of your industry, for example, a wedding photographer or a stationer? I could think of a million ideas for each and every single one of you. You will have an expertise and you will have a skill that you are able to teach other people. So look at it as in teaching your brides. Could you do a course like how to create your own wedding signage, or calligraphy, and teach other people calligraphy, for example? Could you have a create your own centerpiece course, how to do flowers for your bridal party course?
I think when we think about, you know, making courses online or teaching, I would automatically have thought of it as a more of a business to business thing, but actually it can be kind of business to client. You can definitely
100%. That DIY bride, and I know everyone kind of cringes at when we hear DIY bride, still exists. And if they see value in what you're offering, and it is going to save them money doing their own flowers for their wedding or making their own wedding signage, and they can pay £40 and learn a skill from you guys and then do their whole wedding flowers, they're going to buy it. And that DIY bride was never going to be your client anyway. So you are going to get a little bit of money from that person, whereas you were never going to get anything from them previously. So have a think as to what you could teach your clients. And you don't need to just do video courses, do you?
No, you've got, you can do kind of workbooks, trying to think what else. I'm trying to find it on.
You can have like text modules, you can put quizzes in there. I know quite a lot of you are almost scared to kind of jump on a recording, aren't you? And this
or
is
like you don't want your face to be or like whatever it may be, but you don't have to do a video. There's lots of other ways kind of that you can teach. You can, get an app like Designer where you can sit and make workbooks and things like that. Like you were saying, you could do quizzes. What I'd say is go and have a little look around. This is where we host our courses. We use Teachable. I know there's a couple of others out there. Is it Thinkific or something like that?
Yeah, Thinkific, Derby, etc. So they're the platforms where you can host your courses on. You can do slideshow presentations, can't you? You can do slideshow presentations, you can record that, perhaps with a voiceover, and you can write a script. So you could, potentially take, let's say you're going to be teaching people how to make your own centerpieces. You could take step-by-step photographs, you could script that out, and you could teach that over an online presentation if you wanted to. And some money coming into your business is better than no money coming into your business, isn't it? So what we're going to say as well, could you have e-guides, like maybe you could create your own wedding planner or a wedding planning journal. Perhaps you could create a gratitude journal or even an isolation journal. Hen party journals, hen party planners, bachelorette planners.
There's loads and loads of things. Because like Kate was saying, those DIY brides are out there, and also people have got a lot of like brides at the moment. They're in this, like we all are, in this lull of don't really know what to do. So if you can create a few things that you can get out there, they're more likely to do them now than any other time, actually. Totally.
100%. Those, like you said, those DIY brides, could you do printables? So like printable labels, printable stationery. So people could go on, download your product and print it at home. Like, for example, invitations or place cards or change of dates.
Like a really save the date kind of card would be really nice currently as well. And
you can diversify as well. So you don't need to just stick to weddings. So could you go into home decor quotes, or I don't know, planners for other parts of life, or gratitude journals for business owners, or whatever it may be. Think about branching out and kind of getting those kind of ideas kind of out there. Don't need to be a designer either, do you? No, I'm so pleased about this one, because this is something that I really struggle with.
Me too.
But there are people out there that would do it for you, and you can, perhaps somebody already, perhaps somebody inside of our group, or somebody that's absolutely amazing at graphic design, or you could just hire a freelancer from somewhere like Fiverr or Upwork, maybe even ask on social media and hire somebody and say, look, I've got an idea for this and this, I need a few graphics making. That can then become your business, can't it? They can create the graphics for you, you can add the words and add the course around that. Bish bash bosh, you've got yourself a little new business.
That's it. And I think as time goes on, as you could get a little bit more the feeling of confidence with doing it. I know, like for us, like doing things like this at the beginning, because it was new, we didn't even know what we were doing, but now how much easier it is now. We kind of have been doing it for 3-4 months. It's bish bash bosh kind of now, but not the design aspect of it. That takes a little bit more time, but it's something that's a little bit of a learning process. I mean, there's even online kind of templates you can get, and I've heard of you can buy like a master license for like a planner template, and then once you've edited it, as long as you're not selling that template that is editable, you can then, let's say you create like a bridesmaid planner from a template, you can then sell that planner on, as long as you're not selling that kind of additional template. But kind of look into licenses and things like that. Don't be scared to have a Google about things, because it is my best friend. I literally love Google things like this. You can have a good look around, open your eyes a little bit and branch out. There's nothing wrong with it at all.
And this is something as well, we talked a lot about, you can pick this up and put it down whenever you kind of want to, but if you've got an online course, that it's taken you, I don't know, a couple of days to write and record, you can sell that for forever. So you don't need to just sell it, you know, in times of when it's struggling. It's out there online. It can be something that people kind of access via your website, or if you wanted to chuck a bit of promotion behind it or a bit of Facebook ads behind it, you can do. That is then recorded for forever in terms of bringing you some passive income coming into the future. And we've got products, haven't we?
Yeah.
And we've got online courses and online workbooks that we've kind of made. And isn't it a lovely feeling when you check?
Nothing better than you see like a little ping on your phone, you're like, oh, somebody's.
And we haven't had a lot come in over the last few months, have we? Because we haven't been directly, you know, focused on events or whatever. But we've had a few people, thank you to whoever you guys are, where it's pinged in and it's brought in a little bit of income and a little bit of revenue. Definitely do your research. Don't price yourself too low, which I know that we are always doing.
Always doing.
We talk to a lot of people and obviously bring a lot of coaches and stuff into the group, and we always get told, girls, you are selling yourself too short. However, you know, we like to bring value.
Yeah, that's what we're about. And another little point on, you know, having additional, you know, online things to sell to your brides. How nice would it be to have that as a talking point, you know, when you're in a consultation? You know, I'm thinking of probably more the future now, but, oh, did you know that we also have this available and that available too? It's another way that you can promote yourself on social media, rather than just, you know, having that one thing that you promote or one service. Now you've got like a course or a workbook or a planner to kind of promote as well. I love it. Just opens up another conversation with.
And that's it, isn't it? Like you said, that those DIY brides probably aren't your ideal client. However, like we said, you were never going to get any money from them. If they were a DIY bride, they were never ever going to be your client. So the fact that you've got something online that is teaching them a skill for their business, if you get 30 quid out of them or 40 pounds out of them, or maybe you offered them something amazing and it's 100 quid, that is money that you were never going to see. So yeah. and that like we said, will bring you money in for you at all the time.
Even, you know, down the line, let's say there's a DIY bride that's brought one of your courses or something like that, and then they've loved it so much that they've gone and shared that on social media. You know, that's drawing more people to your social medias. You know, you might then get a brand that is your target market. Just going, oh, I've had this amazing like planner from so and so. Oh, brilliant! I'll go and check that out because I'm looking for a florist. Let's just say.
And this is it. Like, brides are talking to one another. Just when you said that, I had an idea. So put in a affiliate code or something low value to you that you'll give them if they recommend you to 3 other people or whatever it may be. And you don't need to have a massive following online, do you, in order to be able to sell online courses or online products. It doesn't have to be a massive following. You don't have to have thousands and thousands of people on your email list either. You just need to just have a product that is good and be promoting it and getting it out there consistently. And this is what we were saying way back when.
Back in the day.
Don't be scared to kind of still be putting your business out there, because if you're not doing it, no one else is doing it, are they? Like, and people won't know of you in order to be able to book you or book your service or whatever it is. Okay, physical products.
I love this one, and this is something that watch your space, guys, because
don't we say this all the time? We're like, we really want to do this. Do you know what? We should do it. We should do it today. We should work our bank holiday Friday and be like,
sorry, I'm going on. No, sorry, I'm going on.
This time next week, we'll have a whole range of Twizzing merch available.
It's so much. I even got like my kids involved with it. I have had a little dabble, but obviously everything. I think when the COVID-19 when it first happened, I think didn't everyone just feel like everything was up in the air? I couldn't focus anything. Like, kids are off school. Oh my god, what do I do? But I feel like now we're all settling into a little bit. You know, we're realising that okay.
I know a lot of people will be listening who might be being furloughed as well, and this is people don't know whether they're coming or going, do they, and what they're allowed to do in their business and not allowed to do. you are allowed to have ideas, and you are allowed to kind of think, oh, you know, this is something I'll pick up in a couple of months, and put the kind of wheels in motion.
Get that done right now, because then when, you know, you're back at work, you're no longer I can't say the word that you just said. How do you say it? Furlough. So when you're no longer furloughed, it's ready to go. You literally.
And you can hit the ground running. And those of you, and I salute you, who are still grafting and are still working in your business, you're going to have that edge over people. And, you know, that's not to say those of you that are just getting by, because getting by is good enough, isn't it? And you know,
it is.
Please don't listen and think, oh God, you know, I need to go and work my absolute fingers to the bone. That's not what we're saying at all. We're just giving you kind of ideas so that at some point in the future, or if it needs to be now, and you need to get your big girl pants on, and you need to kind of graft because you've got no other income kind of coming in, and you're not eligible for kind of any of the help that we kind of mentioned at the beginning, you know, you do need to find that motivation, do you? You need to find it from somewhere, because there's no other kind of money coming in. But these ideas will park and wait whenever you kind of are ready to come up, won't they?
But with the physical products, I do love this one. There's so many options out there, things that you can kind of do for physical products. And, you know, we are in the era of drop shipping, which is fantastic. It means that we haven't got to have 6,000 mugs sat in the corner.
Yeah, just explain drop shipping for those people that don't understand what drop shipping is, or have never kind of heard the term drop shipping before. That's kind of, you don't need to order in bulk, do you? So let's say you decide that you're a photographer and you're gonna sell maybe some photo booth props. And if you're a designer or a graphic designer, or you've got an eye for design, you could always theme these to people's weddings so that they could be personable. And people love that stuff, don't they? They love to have t-shirts with like future Mrs. whatever on them, or a little tote bag with the colour of their wedding and the date of their wedding, or whatever that's personable. So if you could make these to fit in the theme of their wedding, I think that would do really well, wouldn't it? I think people really kind of, but if you're a photographer and you're going to additionally add on maybe photo booth props, then offer that those little cardboard props that people hold up, and I don't know, the glasses and the little signs and the moustaches and whatever it might be. You don't need to order them and have 5,000 in your garage.
And the falling out cupboard in your house, and you're like, oh, got to sell all this stuff. And I think that gives an unnecessary pressure right now as well, to be honest. Like, I wouldn't be able to cope with that.
Or even those planners, you know, we mentioned doing like wedding planners or bridesmaid planners or hen party planners or guest books or whatever. You can print on demand. So drop shipping would be that you place the order, the factory makes the order, and then they ship it directly to the client, and you never have to touch it. Sometimes they can come to you if you want to put yourself in that chain. Maybe you want to be in the chain for whatever reason.
One of the pros for dropshipping actually is, rather than buying bulk, that's a bit of a bigger, well, it is a bigger investment cost. Dropshipping, you only kind of pay for what you order. Which is nice.
And then the other one is kind of print on demand. So rather than if you were to make a wedding planner think, oh, you know, I need a minimum order of 80 books or whatever it is, you can print on demand. And even Amazon do a print on demand service, don't they? So that you kind of submit your work, and then as each and every order comes in, that gets printed and shipped to that particular client, so that you never have garages and cupboards full of your products in at home that might never
partner propping his mug up on like a stack of your books or whatever. So let's throw out there some ideas of kind of products that we can all kind of make. So we've got tote bags, mugs, invitations. So you could even do we have kind of moved the wedding date kind of printouts as well. Photo booth props like Kate was on about. You can do them for hen do props as well. Baby shower kind of photo booth props. Hoodies and t-shirts. So t-shirts are the ones that excites me the most. But obviously, twizzing t-shirts.
We're going to get everything. You're going to be like all at home with your twizzing planner, twizzing mug, wearing your twizzing t-shirt and your twizzing hat.
Holding your twizzing pen.
With a twizzing podcast, drinking tea out your twizzing mug.
Twizzing on fire. But there are loads of others as well. And if anyone listens to this and has got some cracking ideas, please let us know. Get in touch with us. We would love to hear your ideas as well.
I mean, now is not the time, is it, to be like investing cash into things that you don't know is going to work. Look for things like the ideas that we've kind of been knocking around today are low investment. Like, you can knock an online course up and get it online purely for the cost of your time, plus you might have some hosting costs, but they're relatively low, aren't they?
Yeah.
And if you host that through your own website, you'll already be paying that fee, so that could be totally free for you. These kind of print on demand services or drop shipping, you pay when you sell, so it's not that you've got to find a load of money in terms of buying some mugs or buying some paper or whatever it may be, in terms of to create something. You can even do a digital mock-up online, can't you? And there's a website called Smart Mockups that you can put your product onto a mug or onto a book or onto.
This stuff really excites me because you can see it instantly.
Yeah, and then you can use that in your marketing, so you don't have to physically come up with a product. You can do a mock-up on that website, smartmockups.com, and you can see what your travel mug looks like, or your t-shirt looks like, or whatever it is that you want to bring to market, and then you can use that in your marketing as well, so that you're not out of pocket. And these ideas are that's what we want them to be.
Well, is again, what a nice little upsell when you're having a little consultation with your couples. Not only now have you potentially got ebooks or little courses going on, you've got physical products as well.
And think like those hen parties as well. They do wear hen party t-shirts or stag party t-shirts, and those kind of hoodies, and like you said, those even gifts. Could you come up with some sort of gift for the mother of the bride and the mother of the groom, and maybe even gifts for suppliers? Wouldn't that be lovely? Reward your supplier with a gift, and you could come up with something in that kind of niche. Back to kind of adding maybe other services to your kind of income stream. Could you add corporate events maybe to what you do? If you purely work weddings, would your product or service work for the corporate world as well? Could you I know that decor sometimes do a little bit of corporate work, don't they? But maybe you're a planner and could plan corporate events as well.
Have a little dabble, kind of do a little bit of research, see what kind of is available,
Because hopefully there will still be Christmas parties, won't there? And there still will be Christmas work functions. So maybe you're an entertainer or a band.
I'm going to say there's definitely going to be some Christmas parties kind of knocking about. But yeah, it's all about kind of doing your research when you're looking into this kind of thing. The corporate kind of events world is massive. And
usually the profits are bigger, aren't they? And they've got more to spend. So
definitely kind of look into
and it's not just for your planners and your decor. Could you make beautiful invitations to work's Christmas function, or are you a magician that could add corporate onto their string of services? Are you a band and your copy is predominantly wedding? Could you just go and change that a little bit and tweak your SEO so that you come up with those kind of corporate searches as well?
If you're so-and-so weddings, could you then be like weddings and events? And
also look as well, not just corporate, but could you move into funerals and picking up some money from funerals? Maybe you're a florist and you predominantly do weddings. Could you open up your services and add or as well celebrants? I know a few celebrants will do funeral services as well. Just have a think about, could you extend your list of services or add a new service to your income stream, so that when we're not in season for weddings, there is something else there tiding you over as well.
I think with that one, you know, you don't want to be distracting away from, you know, what your current income stream is, but if you can find a way to add an additional service that can run alongside of what you currently do, it's how amazing is that? You know, that not only now have you got kind of one thing that you can offer, but something runs, you know, can marry up with that, and that's a really, really good way of doing this, actually.
Not many of us as well work weddings from January to December all year round, do we? And most of us do have this seasonal lull. And if you've got something that is not purely weddings, and obviously our seasons, depending where you're listening to from in the world, run at different times. So if you've got something ticking you over those other 3 months of the year, it just makes your business that little bit more robust and a little bit more sustainable, doesn't it? You know, 24/7, 365 days a year. Last thing we wanted to kind of talk to you about was online education for maybe the wedding industry.
Oh,
apparently we know a little bit about this.
That's funny.
So not just to kind of pitch those online products or services or physical products, or like we said earlier on, if you've got a particular skill set that you're amazing at, not just to pitch that to potential future couples or clients, or even those people in other sectors such as corporate world. Could you pitch that and sell that to others inside of your industry, and sell that skill to others?
You've got a skill, or you know, or something that you're really, really smashing, and you think, oh my god, all my life, like I get asked all the time, like how do I go about doing that, or like the way I do that, I've been told to.
Yeah, could you teach a particular style of floristry to up and coming new florists, and you can pitch your business online so that you're not directly competing with you know, your patch, so your wedding bookings wouldn't necessarily be impacted. Could you offer some one-to-one coaching? Look as well, lots of you listening potentially had a different career before you came into the wedding industry. Yes. So do you have a skill set there, like potentially you were a teacher, or potentially you were an accountant, or I don't know, a graphic designer, or is there something that you've got a skill in and that you could pull over? Potentially, I'm just thinking of the kind of people that we've spoken to. Potentially you're a speaking coach that could teach the businesses, you know, how to overcome nerves and hop on Facebook Live videos. Potentially you've got a background in corporate branding and could teach wedding professionals, you know, how to brand their business, or potentially come up with some logo design or whatever it might be for their business, or teach them how to rebrand their own business, or it's about thinking outside the box, isn't it? Or teach people how to submit their tax returns. That's always a popular one.
If you're just like a dab hand of it, all my life, like, you know, when that time of the year comes, people are going to be like, I need to be getting on that because I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, and not everybody out there has the budget for an accountant, do they? But, you know, if you, and you know, they don't really think about it until the time of year comes around, April the 5th comes around, for kind of submitting their tax return. But if you could come up with something online that teaches people a really easy way in terms of, you know, organising their books or organising their taxes. Do you have a skill set that kind of sits in there? Could you teach people?
Use the knowledge that you've got, that you've learned over the years, that you know, have from your previous like careers or jobs, and you can, you know, there will be something that you will be able to teach somebody else. It's just about finding what that is and then working out.
And the online education sector is massive.
Oh, it's
and
huge.
It's huge. And it's also there 24/7. And we've had sales in other countries, haven't we? Even countries that haven't even heard of Twizzin, and what we're doing in Twizzin. Because once it's online, like we said, it's made and it's done, and you know, it might be a heavy investment at the minute in terms of your time, in terms of planning something and bringing it to fruition. But once it's done, it's parked, and you can just rinse and repeat it, and bring out that product, and chuck an ad campaign out there or whatever it may be, in terms of kind of getting a few extra sales there.
Yeah, and if you don't want to, you know, go down the online course making kind of route, you know, you can do online coaching. You can use, you know, there's things like Zoom and stuff like that where you can, you know, you can do one-to-one coaching, small group coaching. There's so many ways to kind of teach people how to do a skill other than just it being kind of a course.
And it doesn't, like we said, it doesn't need to be in the wedding industry.
No.
Although, like, you'll see that there are wedding planning schools out there, so people who want to become wedding planners, perhaps you could come up with a course that's something similar, and you won't have the same overheads, so perhaps, you know, you'd be able to price that at a more attractive price for people. And that's what we kind of want you to kind of do. Go and have a little look at what's out there. What can you do? What fits in your kind of skill set in terms of what how you can kind of generate money on those slow days, not just in situations such as this one that we found ourselves in.
Don't be afraid to try something new, and definitely don't be afraid to research into things. Just take a little bit of time, go and have a little look around at what other people are doing. I would say, and I would stress through all of this, is make sure you do your market research. You don't want to kind of be, you know, coming up or putting a lot of time in, a lot of mental effort in at the minute, and then being like, oh well that didn't work. Make sure that you do your market research. Go and have a look at others that are doing similar, to see what's out there. But yeah, don't be afraid to try something new. I mean, from where we were, from the bridal shop to where we are now,
total different career change, isn't it? I mean, lastly, what we'll say is we are bringing a little course, aren't we, as to how to change your wedding business to an online business and to move your business online, which will make your business more robust, which will bring in that passive income. And we've started but not yet finished. I think we're going to have to record it. It's going to be a funny one, isn't it? It's that I'll have to record a section, you'll have to record a section, and we'll have to stitch and edit it together.
I'm not worried. Like, I thrive on things like that. It's like a challenge for me.
But we've kind of started, so hopefully we'll have that
in the next kind of couple of weeks. But like we're saying, things are a little bit slower at the moment. But I feel like I'm finding, well, I say that, some days I feel like I'm finding my feet, like, yes, I'm smashing this, and other days I'm like treading water. I'm like a swan, calm on the top, paddling underneath there. I
think lots of people can relate there. Lots of people are in similar situations at the minute, but hopefully we've kind of given you.
Watch this space, guys. Yeah, there's going to be that's going to be coming very, very soon. I think hopefully we've filled you with a lot of hope to anyone that's listening. If you, like I said, throughout this, if you've got any ideas or this is, you know, made you think of something that's amazing that you need to let us know, please do so. We are available on all of our social medias. Go and check out our community. Head over to our Instagram, because I really, really love the stories that Kate is in charge of, the stories, and I love them. I love your stories. Go and check them out, guys.
You're shaming me now because I haven't done one today. I'll have to do one.
No.
Today is up and coming product. So alongside our podcast and alongside, you know, what's running in April this month, we've been running an Instagram kind of calendar, haven't we, to just kind of kickstart people back into kind of posting on their socials and to give you guys an idea. So if you aren't involved in that, you can get involved by just hopping into our group. You can check out what other people are posting using the hashtag TwizinBiz, TWISNBIZ, and that will pull up over kind of 2,000 pieces of content of other people who are kind of joining in with our Instagram calendar. So, okay, I'll make a deal with you. You can do the post, I'll do the story.
Deal. That is a deal.
But we do love hopping into Instagram. We quite often share tips on social media. Those of you that know us know that's our kind of jam and our bread and butter, and that's where our skill set lies, isn't it? And how we kind of started our business, teaching people how to use their social media. And you might be absolutely amazing at Pinterest, and it naturally comes to you, and you've never really thought about. It's never really confused you as a business. Well, there are a lot of people out there that are confused by Pinterest, or a lot of people who are confused by Facebook, how to use Facebook for their business, or how to use Instagram for their business. Perhaps that has just naturally come to you as a wedding supplier, and you can now use that time to teach other people how to use that skill.
Yeah.
So
what we'll do is, all of the things kind of we spoke about, we'll pop all the links in the show notes. So I'll link in our Teachable School, so you can have a little look around that, obviously for the stuff that's in there that is wedding business related, but also go and check out what it looks like, the interface that's there. It might be something that you might want to look into for putting, you know, like creating your own teachable school. I'll put the link for our Facebook and our Instagram on there as well.
I think what we'll do is we'll pop the link in the comments as to if you are interested in signing up for Teachable for your own school. We'll drop our link in there as well, because I think that gets you a discount. So if we drop our link in there, I think that gives you your first month at free. So that's a good way that you can kind of explore that and do some market research as to whether your idea, or just gives you that time to kind of record it and plan it. And that's what our online course is going to be about: how to convert your wedding business to an online business, and how to make that leap. And we're going to take you through all of the steps, right from planning, marketing, SEOing, where to market,
guys, right,
recording. We're going to take you, hold your hand right away from start to finish. We'll get it out there as affordable and cheap as everything else that we do as possible, just in terms of helping you guys kind of with kind of what's going on, really. And we want to see as many of you raring to go in the next couple of weeks. Can't wait to kind of get to some events, can we?
No, I'm really missing that kind of, you know, seeing that everyone's coming together, which actually all of our events are kind of moved online. We'll put our website in there.
Yeah, so if you want to hop on, do some online networking with some wedding businesses,
It's really, really
and maybe you want to go and brainstorm with a load of other people in your field, or you're just missing that person that gets it, that, you know, you need to kind of get all the cogs working again, and you can do that online via one of our networking events. Really want to see as many of you as possible come together after this, and it would be great to see as many of you at our events. If we don't currently hold an event in your area and you are interested in holding one, I think now's a really good time to hop on that, isn't it, and become a coordinator for us, because once this is all over, one of the things that we're going to have to be doing as wedding businesses is adapting and is changing the way that we do things. And, you know, referrals are going to be kind of our best friend, and having, you know, 5 or 6 other people that know about your business that are recommending you to their clients as well as you recommending them to your clients is really going to help when we kind of come out of this situation in terms of getting those bookings back up and getting that revenue in. So I really hope, and this is what I keep on telling myself anyway, that our events and what we do in the wedding business marketing sector is really going to be needed when we get out of this. So if you're interested in becoming a coordinator for us, it's a paid position. It also is really good for your wedding business. Please just let us know, ping us an email, fill in the form online, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. You can get all your training done, can't you? Get all your training done, and then bosh, you can come back and you'll have an additional form of revenue.
Ta-da, there's another additional, yeah, like it.
Yeah, which also pulls in more business for your wedding business as well. So winner, winner, chicken dinner. Right, guys, we will see you when we see you. We'll try and get a guest on for our next podcast, when we Roxy. In the meantime, you can find us over in our Facebook group. And we'll speak to you soon, guys.
And anybody needs anything, honestly, just reach out. It's what we're here for. We're here to help. Take care, guys.
Bye.